Tonight I'm going to try and do some dry baking with my new IMUSA pot. I have the grease catcher insert that I'm going to be using in the base, along with some aluminum rolls that I've made out of an old Monster can. And I'm just going to throw 3 of them down there to get myself a nice level place to drop my... I'm going to turn it upside down, got this little handle, and I'm going to turn it upside down and put it in sideways, try to pass a little bump, and flip it over, and it gives me a nice little base to cook on. I'm going to also use turkey pot pie. Comes in these little cardboard microwave trays that have a silver top to them, not sure what it is. So I'm going to use that in the bottom so that nothing's actually hitting the very bottom of that, and I'll just drop that in and give me a center location. And the next thing I'm going to use, instead of putting everything in a bag in there, I'm going to use this. This is my magic cook pot. This is a Teflon sheet. I'm going to try and cook just right in there, so we'll see how it works. I'm going to push that down inside there. You can get these at a lot of camping stores carry them for Dutch ovens. We've used them in Dutch ovens before. They're great for cooking dump cake or something like that in a Dutch oven. It gets the, if you're using cherry pie filling or something like that, it just doesn't get all over your Dutch oven. You don't have to worry about cleaning it as much. So that's lined up, ready to go. We're going to take our mix. I'm hoping I can get it in one of these little sandwich bags. That might be a little bit much. You know what? Why waste a sandwich bag? If I'm going to make the whole thing, I should just mix it in the container. This is blueberry pie muffin mix. Just add water from Betty Crocker. It says add half a cup of water. So we're going to try and mix it right in here. No reason to waste the bag. Although I think I should have made this in 2 different sections. I am going to use a spoon because I don't want to squish it and have it flat at the top. At least to get it started, and then I may squish it around. I'm hoping a half a cup of water wasn't too much. That's what it called for, but I'm a little worried that'll be too much because to make that out may take longer than I think. I'm going to use my Monster base stove there, the one that uses just the lid. I don't want to go too hot on this, and I may even let it go into simmer mode, where it's just the center ring, so that I'm not using the whole thing. And my son is making faces at me, trying to get me to laugh on the camera, which I think he's succeeded. Great job. Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead and finish mixing this up with our spoon. I'm not going to look at him anymore to see if I can keep from laughing. It's pretty mixed up. Okay, so I'm going to use the bag to kind of clean off the spoon here a little bit. And then we're just going to pour this right into the parchment. We'll see how it works. And this parchment papers are pretty cheap. I actually got a deal on them. I paid $2 for 10 of them. Most places don't have that. I was at Sports Authority, and I think they were trying to unload them for the end of the season. And so I paid $2 and got 10 of them. And these things are much bigger than what I have here. I had to cut off a big chunk of it just to get it down to the size of my pot here. The way I did that was I laid it in here, stretched it down, made a little mark with black magic marker, and then just folded it all back up, snipped off the top of it. And I think you saw the way it was folded, so we're almost done squishing all this out of here. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of a mess left over. That's good stuff. Alright, that's in there. I'm going to slap the lid on. This lid does have a nice little spot where steam can just roll right out the edge of it. We got to fill our stove up. I have not done that yet. I mentioned I was using the homemade Monster stove. And the reason this is called a Monster stove is because of the Monster lid that I'm using on the top of the flagpole and washer. So completely homemade thing here. All stuff you can find in local stores around town here. Carbon felt, hardware store. Okay, so it's full. We may have to take some of that back down. It might be too much of a flame for dry cooking, but we'll see. My first try at ever dry cooking anything. Okay, we got a good flame going. Let's put the, and I also wrapped my IMUSA pot handle with some silicone tape. We'll see if that doesn't make it more manageable. If not, I did bring up my silicone grabber, so if this is not needed, I won't use it, but if it is needed, I have it here just in case. We're going to see how hot this gets. And it's going to take 23 minutes. I have 9:21 on the clock right now. It says on the side of the bag 16 to 21 minutes. So I'm going to set the timer for 16 minutes. Yeah. Oh, go ahead and set the timer for me. 16 minutes. That way we can check it. And I wanted to, while that's cooking, I wanted to go over something real quick. I had somebody ask me about the nipples I was using on this for the fuel line and the hose. So this hose and this hose are the exact same size. This I had bought from Tenny at Mini Bull Design. This I bought from, yep, timer's going, thanks. This I bought from Hobby Lobby or Hobby King or something like that. I'm not sure which one. And that is just a fuel line for RC car. And somebody had asked me what the size of the inner diameter and the outer diameter were these. And I thought it was a 1/4 inch, but it slides right. This is a drill measuring device, so it lets me handyman drill gauge. So that's the size I can tell you because I don't really have any kind of other measurement. The outside diameter is exactly 7/32. Fits right in there. Next one's way too small. So the inside diameter, all I can do is really look down on it and see what I come closest to. And I was looking at it, and I thought it was 1/8 all this time, but it actually is exactly 3/32 that the inner diameter is. Now that's odd because I thought the nipple was 1/8. But that makes a little sense because if you look on the side of this nipple, I don't know if you can see it in the camera right now, it bulges as you push it over the top of it. But 3/32 of an inch, and if you're looking for millimeters, I think it says 2.38, and the other one was 7/32, and that would be 5.56 millimeters as well. So there's your sizes on that. Whoever asked for that, I don't remember exactly who it was, but it was on my video. Somebody had a question about that. And the nipple is, I'll have to get the measurements for you, and I'll put them in here in a minute. I'll just maybe put them down below on the tap size for the nipple that I use. And I have a couple different nipples that I use, so I'll give you both tap sizes. One of them's from the hobby shop, same place where I get this line at. They have the exact same nipples. And the other nipple I get is from Tenny at Mini Bull Design, and his is a different size thread. So there's two different size threads that I use based on where I get my nipple from. The nipples range $1 from Tenny at Mini Bull Design, and about $1.60 from the hobby shop when you buy it directly from there. So that's that. We're going to let this burn. We'll come back in about 16 minutes. All right, we have about 1 minute left in our 16 minutes that we've set up. At about 6 minutes or 10 minutes in, I had to add another ½ ounce of fuel. It was down to just the center little part of donut fuel burning. I just didn't decide the flames were getting high enough. May have been enough, but I wanted to make sure it made it through the whole burn. So at about 6 minutes in, I added another ½ ounce of fuel. We're at about a full ounce of fuel in there, and we still haven't come back in off the edge. Might be a little bit of orange glow just right over here on the edge. So it's still going pretty strong. I got some toothpicks to test the dough and see how it looks. We're going to wait till the timer goes off. That'll be 16 minutes. Also, I was testing just a minute ago. Silicone tape, not going to work. Just doesn't do the job. That's way too hot still. So the silicone tape is not the answer to the handle. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Stick a toothpick in it at the 16-minute mark here and see just where we stand. Well, I can tell we're not done yet. Ooh, and the handle's very hot, so I'm going to grab it with this hand. It's a little doughy on the inside still. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. But yeah, we're going to give it another, well, it said 16 to 21, and that's 16, so we're going to go ahead and give it another 4, because I think that'll be fine. I'm going to reset the timer, and we'll be back in about 4 minutes to do our second test. Alright, we're back. It's been 20 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead. I'm almost out of fuel in this I had to add another ½ ounce, so I've gone through 1½ ounces of fuel completely. Oops, wrong hand. Ooh, it actually smells good. Another toothpick here I want to try it with. Ooh, that metal is hot. Ooh, the very center is not done yet. There's still a little bit of dough in there. Where's my other toothpick? I just want to hit another spot. Oh, I had another toothpick sitting out here, but I lost it. Here's one. Just want to hit on the other edge over here. Yeah, I've actually touching that pot is dangerous. You gotta be really careful. Well, that's pretty good. I'm gonna give it about another minute or two, just to let it finish out. It's starting to brown on top right now, and I noticed my flame's about out. When I reached in there, the edge of that top of that pot was really hot. Got a little burn there just from touching that. So these pots get really hot when you dry bake. A lot hotter than they do when you use moisture. Oh, I see my toothpick. My son has it in his mouth. How good that does my toothpick. Okay. So, my flame's about out. I think I'm just going to let it go down a little bit here. Hoping I'm not burning on the brown. I was actually starting to get a little brown on top, which I probably won't now because I've taken the lid off. So I would imagine if I hadn't taken the lid off in the first place at 16 minutes, 20 minutes, 21 minutes might have been perfect. That's what it says, to do 21 minutes. If I just listen to the packaging and let it go until light brown and top springs back when touched. It doesn't say anything about a toothpick. So it may be down on the inside because that toothpick didn't have much on it. So we're just going to let it go for another second here. And we'll pop it out and see how it looks. Be right back. Alright, so that's about 23 minutes. We're going to open it up here. I think we'll probably be done because the last time we were very close to being done. This lid and this metal gets very hot when you're dry baking. So I found another toothpick here. I'm going to stick it in one more time into the middle of it, as far down as I can, and there's still a little dough in there maybe. I can't tell if there's much though. It definitely springs back. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot, see how it tastes. Gotta be careful, these lids cool down fast, but this is a vinyl tablecloth here, and I don't want to melt my vinyl tablecloth. Now, I'm hoping that...
No, brush your teeth and go to bed.
That's not too hot, so that's not bad. But the pan is still pretty hot. I'm hoping that this will come right out, and it did. And I can tell it burnt a little bit in some places, and reaching out to burn myself, this started burning. I could smell something burning, and I didn't know what it was. It must have been this that started burning. So I'm going to move this over so you guys can see what we have here. There's my parchment paper, which is actually stuck pretty bad to the sides of the cake. I don't know if you can see that. It's stuck pretty bad to the sides there and to the bottom. So that parchment paper holds on to it pretty good. It gives you nice brown edges on it, but it holds on. This is pretty hot. I'm going to move in a little closer so you guys can see. Set tilt it down enough to where it can see. Can you tilt it down? You got to turn this one side. Is it working? That's good. Can you see it there? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and break this apart for you guys and see how it looks on the inside. Ooh, that is hot. And I was right. The center is just a hair doughy, right in that center part there. Right there in the center. So just a little doughy. So I'm not going to eat the doughy stuff, but whatever. The rest of it's pretty good. Another 3 or 4 minutes might have gotten that cooked out, but that little center part's just a little doughy. But the rest of it's really good looking. So I'm going to try and eat a piece here without burning myself. Oh, man. That is fluffy and delicious. I don't know if you can see here. I'll hold this up a little bit. The parchment paper actually got burnt all on the edges. So, pan's cooled down now. It can be touched on this part anyway. Doesn't look like it did any damage to the pan, so dry baking's good to go. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.
Holy mackerel. Sit down and do your movie. That being recorded.
Do what?
You might want to restart it.
Hit that button. Hit the button.